The tech world had been no stranger to Elon Musk's antics. The man had become a legend not just for his brilliance but for his unapologetic audacity. From launching rockets into space with SpaceX to revolutionizing the electric car industry with Tesla, Musk had always positioned himself as an unstoppable force. And then there was Twitter, his latest playground, which he bought, revamped, and turned into a social media experiment no one had asked for but couldn't look away from. But even as Musk's influence seemed to expand beyond the atmosphere, one fortress had remained seemingly impenetrable: Facebook. For nearly 2 decades, Mark Zuckerberg had crafted his social media empire with a laser focus that bordered on robotic. Under his reign, Facebook became more than just a platform, it was a digital kingdom. No one dared challenge him, until Musk decided to do what only Musk could: buy it outright. The announcement hit the world like an earthquake. Elon Musk officially buys Facebook. The headline spread like wildfire across every news outlet, every social media platform, every corner of the internet. People were stunned. Was this even possible? Could Musk really take over the Facebook, the giant of Silicon Valley, the cornerstone of social media culture? It wasn't just that Facebook had been Mark Zuckerberg's baby. It was that Facebook was Zuckerberg. The two were inseparable, like Steve Jobs and Apple, or Bill Gates and Microsoft. Facebook had grown out of a Harvard dorm room and turned into a $1 trillion empire under Zuckerberg's obsessive guidance. And yet, here was Elon Musk, a man known for lighting fires under every industry he touched, waltzing in and snatching it all up as if it were just another tech startup in need of some chaos. For weeks leading up to the deal, rumors had been swirling in boardrooms and on the tech grapevine, but no one had believed it. Musk buying Facebook. The idea seemed ridiculous yet tantalizing. Zuckerberg had built his empire with the cold efficiency of a machine, but Musk operated on a different level entirely. Where Zuckerberg saw stability, Musk saw disruption. Where Zuckerberg valued control, Musk thrived on unpredictability. Many were left questioning the motives behind the deal. Why would Zuckerberg, the king of social media, sell to Musk, who had proven time and again that he cared more about shaking up industries than maintaining them? Some speculated it was a matter of timing. Facebook, once the uncontested ruler of the social media space, was starting to show its cracks. Public trust in the platform had eroded after multiple scandals, from Cambridge Analytica to concerns over data privacy. The younger generation was migrating to newer platforms like TikTok and Instagram, the latter, ironically, owned by Facebook. Meanwhile, Musk's ventures were still skyrocketing, quite literally in the case of SpaceX. Then, there was the issue of legacy. Zuckerberg had always been portrayed as the awkward, calculating genius who valued control above all else. He had resisted outside influence, maintained a tight grip on his company's vision, and avoided the kind of bombastic public persona that Musk thrived on. But some insiders hinted that Zuckerberg might have seen the writing on the wall. Facebook was no longer the shiny new toy in the tech world. It was aging, bloated with controversy, and desperately in need of a reinvention. Perhaps Musk, the master of disruption, was the one to do it. Still, the public wasn't buying it. Social media exploded with opinions, most of them negative. Musk had already turned Twitter into a battleground of erratic policy changes, questionable free speech policies, and a revolving door of leadership. How could the same man be trusted with Facebook? Critics screamed that this wasn't just a tech takeover, it was a hostile invasion of one of the most important communication tools of the modern era. Musk's control over Twitter had already sent shockwaves through digital culture. The idea of him controlling Facebook as well felt like the beginning of a social media dystopia. From the moment the deal went public, Musk didn't help his case. At the press conference, he stood before a sea of flashing cameras, grinning that lopsided grin of his, as if he knew something the rest of the world didn't. "I think Facebook has gotten a bit stale," he quipped, sending shockwaves through Silicon Valley. Stale. This was the platform that had single-handedly redefined the internet age, and yet, in Musk's eyes, it was just another tired project in need of his signature brand of chaos. Zuckerberg, on the other hand, was notably absent. No public statements, no emotional goodbyes to the company he had built from the ground up. In his usual robotic fashion, he simply passed the reins to Musk, leaving everyone to wonder what was really going on behind the scenes. Had Zuckerberg been forced out? Was there some kind of deal or power struggle no one knew about? The silence only added fuel to the controversy. In the days following the announcement, the ripple effects began. Facebook users, already wary of the platform as constant surveillance and questionable ethics, began to panic. Musk had never been shy about his love for unregulated spaces where chaos could thrive and innovation was often indistinguishable from recklessness. Would he loosen Facebook as already lax policies on hate speech and misinformation? Would he turn the platform into a playground for extremists the way some critics claimed he had done with Twitter? Speculation turned into outrage. Social media was ablaze with opinions from every corner of the political and cultural spectrum. Some hailed Musk as a genius, someone who had the guts to tear down the old guard and rebuild it from scratch. Others saw him as a reckless billionaire, more interested in stoking controversy and boosting his ego than in running a responsible platform. And yet, there was no stopping the inevitable. The papers were signed, the money had changed hands, and Facebook was now part of Elon Musk's sprawling empire. But here's where things got even more controversial. Musk wasn't interested in just running Facebook, he wanted to transform it, just like he had done with every other company he touched. Within weeks, internal memos began to leak. Musk was planning sweeping changes. Gone would be the carefully curated algorithms that prioritized family-friendly content and corporate partnerships. In their place would be a platform that encouraged more authentic user interaction, whatever that meant. He also planned to change the name. Facebook, he argued, was outdated. The name carried too much baggage, too many scandals, too many years of slow, predictable growth. Musk wanted something new, something futuristic. We were entering a new era, he told his top executives, according to one leaked memo. We need a name that reflects that. Naturally, this didn't sit well with Facebook as core users, many of whom had been with the platform since its early days. For them, this wasn't just a change in ownership, it was a hostile takeover of the online communities they had spent years building. Musk's plans to strip away Facebook's identity felt like an erasure of everything Zuckerberg had spent years creating. Meanwhile, Zuckerberg remained silent. Some speculated that he had cut a deal with Musk behind the scenes, walking away with billions while leaving Musk to deal with the platform's inevitable decline. Others believed he had simply grown tired of the fight, tired of defending a company that had become more of a liability than an asset. Whatever the reason, his absence only fueled the controversy further. Had Zuckerberg given up, or had Musk simply outmaneuvered him, as he had done with so many others? The most shocking part of the entire saga, however, was how quickly it all happened. Within weeks, Facebook had become virtually unrecognizable. The interface was different. The algorithms had been replaced by something more chaotic, unpredictable. Advertisers, who had long relied on Facebook's stable, data-driven approach, began to pull out in droves. Users fled to other platforms, disgusted by Musk's reckless approach. But for every person who left, another joined, drawn in by the allure of something new, something wild. Musk had turned Facebook into a digital frontier, a place where the rules no longer applied. It was exactly what he had promised and exactly what so many had feared. In the end, Elon Musk's takeover of Facebook wasn't just a corporate acquisition, it was a cultural shift, a tectonic movement in the tech world that left no one untouched. For better or worse, the old guard was gone, and Musk's chaotic vision of the future had arrived.